This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore. Today's video is brought to you by Private Internet Access. So yesterday, we talked very briefly about Tucker Carlson having been fired unceremoniously by Fox News. A lot of us doing what I do, whether that be me or Pacman or Farron or a number of different people, even off of the YouTube ecosystem, have worked long and hard exposing Tucker Carlson for what he is. A malevolent, sinister white supremacist, a virulent white nationalist who has brought back into the vernacular, white genocide and the Great Replacement theory. These are tried and true talking points of neo-Nazis and other white separatist groups. He has single-handedly, along with Donald Trump and others, but primarily because he exists outside of your traditional political power structure, he was able to captivate an audience that is prone to conspiracy theory, an audience that is prone to fear and outrage. He was exactly what they needed. If you remember back when Bill O'Reilly held this position, at that time slot on Fox News, people thought he was a ratings juggernaut, could never be beat, couldn't be topped, Bill O'Reilly. And Tucker did just that. The googly-eyed feather duster, the smooth-skinned trust fund, was able to animate in his audience fear and hatred and resentment, a feeling of less than because you're white and people call you racist. They don't call you racist because you're white. They don't call you racist because you're conservative. They call you racist because you're racist. And MAGA world is freaking out collectively right now about where do we go from here? Now that the golden boy, the callous-free, never worked a day of hard labor in his life, Tucker Carlson, is now gone. What are we going to do? Some people are hyperbolically claiming that this is the end of the conservative movement. This is the end for the right. We're going to talk about that. I got some Marjorie Taylor Greene tweets here, a bananas clip from Glenn Beck, and also Don Jr. has a few things to say about the firing of Tucker Carlson. But before we do, though, a word from today's sponsor very briefly, Private Internet Access. I often receive threats, both physical and digital. People ask me how I protect myself, and as a former Marine, I like to think that I have the physical covered, but as for digital, I use a VPN. Private Internet Access is an industry-leading virtual private network with over 30 million downloads. Private Internet Access encrypts your internet connection, shielding your passwords, personal information, and private messages, while also blocking ads, trackers, and malicious websites. Head to piavpn.com/Dollemore now to get 83% off of Private Internet Access, plus 4 extra months for free. With no logs policy that has been proven in court multiple times, Private Internet Access won't store any of your data. Their security and anonymity are available to you on all platforms: Windows, Mac, Android, and more. Also, you can use unlimited devices on a single subscription. And with a 30-day money-back guarantee, you can try PIA risk-free. Get top-notch defense for just over $2 per month. piavpn.com/Dollemore for 83% off, plus 4 extra months free. So much protection for so little money. All right, let's start with just what was a vomitous display on Twitter from Marjorie Taylor Greene, who it seems to me is acting outside of her best interest to support Tucker Carlson so vociferously, because he may end up being an opponent of hers relative to who's going to be Donald Trump's running mate. Because now that Tucker Carlson is unencumbered, freed from needing that salary. I mean, he's a rich boy. He doesn't really need the money. But now that he doesn't have the salary to worry about, the millions of dollars he was being paid by Fox News, he might. It very well could be a feasible possibility that he joins the campaign with Donald Trump to be vice president. He is just that much of a fascist to do so. So it strikes me as a little odd that Marjorie Taylor Greene would be so allied, so on the team for Tucker Carlson. Here's one from 2:14 p.m. yesterday. I stand with Tucker Carlson wherever he goes. The melodrama is just so great. Here's one just a few minutes later, went from 2:14 to 2:40. It wasn't enough. That first tweet, another just a brilliant tweet popped into her head. She had to get it out. Cable news is about to be taught a powerful lesson after Fox News caved to the woke mob and fired Tucker Carlson. Americans no longer blindly watch the news like they did decades ago. They only watch the ones who have courage to tell the truth. Americans are about to quit watching. Oh no, what will we do? And then 3 minutes later, she wasn't done. Another banger popped into her head. She wanted to get it out. Remember when Pelosi kicked me off all of my committees? I was set free. So is Tucker Carlson. Can't wait. Come on. But maybe the most unhinged response that really just drifted into grift territory came from, a likely, just a rudderless, vacillating turd that is Glenn Beck. Glenn Beck, who thought there was a payday to be had by being an opponent of Trump, and then realized, oh wait, that's not working. I need to somehow flip back and be a devout ally of my golden God. I'll substitute my own Lord and Savior for Donald Trump and do whatever and say whatever is going to find me in the good graces of Trump world. He had a couple of just nuts things to say. This is taken from, there's going to be a break here. I guess I'll just flash a black spot when there's the edit point. So I don't want you to think I'm manipulating the edit here, but because it's 6 minutes, the clip, and I want to get both of the things in here. So watch this nuttiness from Glenn Beck.
Amazing. Mr. Carlson's last program was April 21st. The fact that you have the number one host in all of cable news, and he doesn't even come back on to say, hey, this is what's going on. No goodbye show, no, none of that. Just he's done. Fox News Tonight will air at 8 p.m. Eastern this evening as an interim host helmed by rotating Fox News personalities until a new host is named.
Would you sign up for the Blaze right now so we just have a bucket full of money we could throw his way?
Where would they go for that, Glenn?
You'd go to blazetv.com, blazetv.com/Glenn. You'll save $20 if you use the promo code QuestionEverything. Become a subscriber. I'll tell you now more than ever, where are you going to get the truth? Tucker was the only guy out there that I felt was in the mainstream media that was telling America the truth. Who's doing that? There's nobody in the mainstream media. Nobody. And I now include Fox. Getting rid of Tucker Carlson? Wow.
This is really,
this is
Tucker Carlson world.
Peak. You know the damage this does to the right? If the left and Soros money, which I guarantee you was involved, if they can learn that they can do this, we're done. By the way, have you seen that the automakers are dropping all AM radios? This is, in fact, let me give you something. This is from the National Association of Broadcasters. Text AM to 52886 and tell Congress we need AM radios in cars. There's a lot of reasons, but this is another way just to silence us on AM radio. Please, they're going to drive us out of everything. They can get away with this. Oh, they are so emboldened.
So, one, this is a suicidal move for Fox News. And would you sign up for the Blaze right now so I could just have a bucket of money to toss to Tucker Carlson? It turns into a fundraising. And then the thing that really, it really cements the fact that Glenn Beck is a grifting charlatan with no integrity, no ideology at all, talking about how Tucker Carlson was the only one in mainstream news who could tell the truth, who was truthful. I guess all of those times that Tucker Carlson was saying that immigrants make our country dirtier and poorer, he was telling the truth. Huh, Glenn? And then this line here, do you know the damage that this does to the right? See, they are framing this argument, and this next clip from Don Jr. really kind of barrels into this point about Glenn Beck and what he's saying. They're afraid because of the fact of what I mentioned earlier about Tucker Carlson existing outside of the normal political power structure. He's able to hold your less radical radicals in line. If they step out of line, he's able to bring the weight and the displeasure of his audience to bear, making them step back into line, whether that be supporting Donald Trump fully or whatever other radical white supremacist ideology he wants them to parrot. Don Jr. really struck to the heart of this. Watch this.
What's next? If Fox is getting rid of their best talent for some reason, what could be going on in conservative media, certainly in conservative mainstream media? This departure permanently changes the GOP. Tucker Carlson was one of the only people willing to go after and roast lawmakers on our side when they went off the rails. One of the few people willing to hold them to task.
So they're afraid, Don Jr. and Glenn Beck before him, that there's no one there anymore to hold people accountable when they fall from into a less radical position. That who's going to be there to make sure they get back in line and threaten them with their massive audience? That's the concern here. They're not worried about the fate of Tucker Carlson because he's a multimillionaire. Before he worked for Fox News, he was a multimillionaire. He's a trust fund brat. But they're paranoid right now. They're losing it because the propaganda machine is starting to unravel. It's starting to break just a little bit, and they don't know what to do because he was a cog in that machine, a major piece of the machinery of right-wing propaganda, and now he's gone. Anyway, I'd love to know what you think about this. Let's talk about it in the comments. You can also call and leave me a voicemail, a brief voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me daily at Dollemore.com. I'd love to hear from you. You can also get at me on social media. I'm at Dollemore just about everywhere. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all of the places. And if you appreciate what I do, if you've been a viewer for all of these years and you've heard me talk about Tucker Carlson dozens and dozens, literally dozens and dozens of times, and you appreciate my take or my ferocity or whatever, please consider a $2 donation every month to support my work, help produce what we do here. You can click the join button below, become a channel member, or you can go over to patreon.com/IDoubtIt podcast. I love you guys very much. I appreciate you very much. Although it is a good day that there is no Tucker Carlson, keep in mind that there's going to be a lot of people rearing up to try to take his place, becoming more radical in order to fill that void that now exists because of his absence. Anyway, I love you guys. I appreciate you very much. I'll see you next time. Until I do, Be genuine. Take care of one another.